income to your government, that's not freedom. You're paying a quarter of your income, 25%, to your government, 25% or more. That's not freedom. Look, God only asks for a tithe. He only asks for 10%. And God's the one that owns everything, and he's only asking for 10%. Yet your government wants 25% or more. And then you have people running around telling you that, no, you're not paying enough. Why do they need more than 10%? Well, it's called control. Plain and simple. Basically, it means that for the rest of the year now that you'll finally be earning money for you and your family. But otherwise, before this day, this is another reason why people have the dull. Everybody talks about the winter blues, and people, that's a real condition from what I understand. They try to pass it off as lack of sunlight, in that they created these lamps and these lights and everything for people to get the intensity of the sun, the sun's rays indoors during winter months. But I say it's not because the lack of sunshine. I'd say it's because people actually know in the back of their mind that during those winter months, they're working for the government, not themselves. And that in springtime, they come alive, not because there's more sunshine available, but because now they know that they're working for themselves. So basically, if you can try it sometime, if you can finagle it, and of course you probably have to start planning now, but in 2016, you could try to finagle it where you pay all your taxes up, in the first 4 or 5 months of the year, and then have your whole paycheck for you the rest of the year. See how that changes your perspective on taxes. Well, Rod, how do you not pay? Well, you can't not pay zero taxes because they're always going to take out, Social Security and Medicare tax, the FICA and that kind of stuff, taxes, the payroll taxes on you. You can't take those out. Stop having that taken out. Well, I mean, I guess there's so many. No, you can't stop it. You can't stop those taxes, but you can stop all the other taxes if you have so many deductions, it gets down to zero. There are so many exemptions, you get down to zero. So you could calculate what your tax bill is for the year, and then once take no exemptions, no deductions in your pay for however long it is, and then once you've calculated that you've reached what you need to pay the government every year, and you're safe, then raise your deductions so you have no taxes other than your payroll taxes deducted from your paycheck. Now, this little experiment wakes up a lot of people that do it, because then they start to see, wait a minute, it's like I got a raise. Well, you really didn't get a raise, but you see, when you get that money in your little hands, you realize what you're missing. See, this is why the government takes it out of your paycheck up front, because you do not realize what you're missing. But when you do this little experiment, see your tax accountant, attorney, what have you, make sure you get the proper tax advice, but you can set it up where you can do this. And when you see the increase in your paycheck every week or every pay period without having all those income taxes and other taxes taken out per pay period, you're going to start to question what the government is doing with all the money that they're taking from you, because you get used to not seeing the money because it's taken out of your check before you get your check. So a lot of people, it's kind of like, people getting a tax refund. Well, I don't see it. So when it's like I'm getting free money. No, it's not free money. A tax refund is not free money. You've given the government a free zero interest loan. They're just giving you back some of the money that you paid them. And they're saying, well, you know what? We're kind enough to say that you overpaid this much in taxes, so we're going to give it back to you now. I mean, that's the dumbest thing that people can do. I'm sorry, it is. If you are getting, more than $1,000 back in your taxes, that means that you have failed to plan your tax strategy for the whole year. It's a dumb financial move. It is. I mean, there's a lot of things that are variables throughout the year. So if you get a tax return or a tax refund that's less than $1,000, there's only a few maneuvers that you can do to lessen that. But you should still try to do it. But if you're getting more than $1,000, what was this year's? I think this year's average was just under three grand. That's insanity. That's poor financial planning. You got to learn how to handle your own money because somebody else will take advantage of you. And I guarantee you that if the government is giving you back $2,500, you probably overpaid by $3 grand. Probably. Which is why it's kind of amazing. People will do their taxes or have somebody do their taxes and they'll take it to like H&R Block or they'll run it through some sort of software and the software finds, oh yeah, we found another $300 for you. Well, if they found another $300, how much did you leave on the table? And a lot of people will jump up and down for joy. Yeah, they found an extra $300. Well, you're probably leaving another $700 on the table that the government is keeping on you. Understand, you've got to take responsibility for your own finances, folks. And when the majority of people start doing that, they will start demanding that the government does the same thing. And then we will get a true shrinkage in the size of our government. But look, they understood this a long time ago when they instituted the payroll tax system. And they started taking money out of people's paychecks before the people got paid. They understood. Because, if you actually, I guarantee you that if you had to write out every quarter or every year your tax that you owed to your state and federal government, you would question every single penny. And there's no way in hell we'd have an $18 trillion and growing national debt. No way. There would be no possible way for that. There would be no way that you would be reelecting some of these Democrats and liberal Republicans over and over and over again who like to tax and spend. No possible way. So I'm telling you, and spread this message. Get hold of your own finances. Find people think that it's too expensive to go to an accountant or a tax professional. It's not really that. It's considering what you will save in paying the government, what you will keep in your pocket is worth far more than what you will be spending on a tax professional. It's a sad turn of events that we have to do that. Hire somebody who has knowledge in the very complicated, overly complicated tax system, but it is what it is right now. And if you do that, you will reap the rewards and benefit. Hey, look, if you don't think that you should keep that money or have the money up front, instead of giving it to the government, why don't you just put that money into an interest-bearing savings account? At least you're going to get something on a return on your money. If you give it to the government, you're not getting nothing. If you put it in a savings account, even if it's 2%, you're still getting more back by putting it in a savings account than if you give it to the government. That's the truth. So, look, if you take any advice from me whatsoever, figure out and get a hold of your own finances and your own taxes and adjust them so you don't give the government any more than you are legally obligated to give them, period. In that you get to keep more of what you earn. And that you get to earn interest on more of what you earn. But, I get this tax return, I get this tax refund every year. Well, how about instead of getting, a $2,500 tax return every year, how about if you get $2,800? Well, how am I going to do that, Rod? Very simple. It's called interest. How about you earn $200 or $300 in interest on that $2,500? It's your money. Why not put it to work for you? That's all I'm saying. And I know there are people out there that are saying, well, I don't have a job, Rod. I don't have a job. Right? I got a low paying job. I need to make more money. Or, hey, Rod, I'm working a fast food restaurant and they won't pay me that damn $15 an hour, I've been demanding $15 an hour and they won't give it to me. They'll only give me $9. Well, this is the United States of America. You make your own fortune. I ain't got no opportunity, man. Oh, I'm saying you're lying to yourself because you got all the opportunity. And if you want to get to the point, I mean, there are some people really that really want to get to the point where they are actually paying taxes. I mean, that's good because right now they're earning so little, possibly, that maybe they're getting government assistance, but you're still paying taxes. You're still paying payroll taxes. That's the whole misnomer. Well, we have these people who aren't paying any taxes. Well, no, they're still paying their FICA. They're still paying that stuff. They're still paying their sales taxes. They're still paying all the other taxes. What if they don't meet a certain income threshold? Then sure, they're not paying the income tax. That is true. But other than that, they're still paying taxes. Maybe they're renting. They don't own. They're still paying property taxes because they're paying the property tax in their rent. Because I'm pretty sure that 99.9% of all the landowners out there are not that generous by saying, you know what? All I need you to do is cover my mortgage every month. So the taxes, forget it. Insurance, nah. I'll cover that. Just pay my mortgage. And that's reflected in your rent. No. They're reflecting in the rent as much as they can possibly get to cover their expenses of the property and hopefully make a little bit of a return, positive cash flow return every month in the end. And owners that have these so-called alligators that cost them more than what they're making, they look for ways to either lower their cost or get rid of the property. Because it's not an investment if it's draining you of money every month. So the whole notion that, Rod, they're getting their money, but, the person who's renting it, they're not paying the property taxes on that. Well, you keep telling yourself that because you're paying all the taxes. They're not. You are. It's the same thing with business taxes. You're paying the business's taxes in the form of higher prices, consumer prices, plain and simple. That's not even an argument. I don't even know why leftists still try to argue with me on that fact. It's the truth. But you can also increase your income level, but only if you want to, and we'll talk about that when we come back. Trust me, stay here, folks. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. Call InventHelp today.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-352-1609. That's 1-800-352-1609.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement, and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method, and to get your free report, go to 52security.com. That's the number 52security.com. 52security.com. Go to 52security.com.
Hurt or injured in a car accident? It can be hard to take the proper legal action after a car accident, but waiting can cost you more. The law requires car accident victims to assert claims promptly. You could lose out by simply waiting. Call 800-709-4667 right now to see what your claim could be worth when handled by a skilled attorney. With